Canada has a population of approximately 31 million people. 40% are British, 27% are French, 20% are other European ethnic groups, 1.5% are Indian and Inuit, and 11.5% are Asian. But 100% is Nick Pattison. And Nick Pattison is 100% Canadian. Some British and other stuff mixed in there. But most importantly, Canada is Nick Pattison. Aim for success, not perfection. Never give up your right to be wrong. Dr. David M. Burns. I like to feel like he was addressing me when he said that, except I aim for success, and my success is perfection. There was this one time, it's actually a pretty funny story. I was skateboarding like I normally do, and doing kickflips and such, and this man came up to me and said, "You don't have the right to live." So I said back to him, "Yes, I do. This is a legal right I possess, and being a citizen of Canada." And he said, "You're not in Canada. You're on Mars." Power, knowledge, respect. Why do some men, as I, possess these qualities and others do not? Should all men possess these qualities? Should all men possess rights? How did human rights become human rights, and where do they start? What are Canadian human rights? Well, slow down, Seahorse, and I'll tell you. Human rights are thought to start in practice with the ceremony which took place in 1215. John, King of England, as any stenographer can tell you, was very unpopular, so his barons asked him to meet some of his peeps at Runnymede on the River Thames in Surrey to write up a charter called the Great Charter, Magna Carta, or as it's more well known, the best charter this side of Delaware, with fully made ribs. In 1697, this charter was officially made part of the law. As David Essel once said, "Be open to your dreams, people, embrace the distant shore, because our mortal journey is over all too soon." Sometimes when I play the guitar, as I play the guitar professionally, you probably didn't know that about me. Well, I like to play very complex pieces. I write some of them, and sometimes people call me on the phone, and when I pick up, I play the guitar, and they say, "Wow, you're very good. What's up? Seen any good movies lately?" And I say, "Human rights give me the freedom of expression, so shut up and listen to me play." Canadian human rights, quite a ride we've had. I like to picture human rights as a long road, but on this road, there are many bumps and potholes and pieces of gum and garbage. But most importantly, there's hope in freedom. January 28th, 1916, white women over 21 can vote. April 24th, 1928, women are defined as people. 1944, Racial Discrimination Act passed. Racial Discrimination Act passed. 1944, Racial Discrimination Act passed. April 25th, 1945, birth of UN. Canadians original member. 1947, Saskatchewan Bill of Rights Act passed. Canadians' first law prohibiting discrimination. 1954, Female Employees Equal Pay Act passed. August 10th, 1960, Canadian Bill of Rights created. 1977, Canadian Human Rights Act. April 17th, 1982, Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms created. That would be quite the road. Laws are partly formed for the sake of good men in order to instruct them how they may live on friendly terms with one another, and partly for the sake of those who refuse to be instructed, whose spirits cannot be subdued, or softened, or hindered from plunging into evil. Plato. Now, possessing the ability of mind control, I know what you're thinking. Who is this good-looking Arabian prince, and what do human rights mean? Well, human rights are the basic rights and freedoms to which all humans are entitled. Houghton Mifflin Company said that they publish books and stuff. So what are our rights as Canadian citizens? Can we kill a man if we feel it's justified? No. That's called murder. Depending on how hot you are, maybe 3rd degree. I'm like 98.6 degrees. Feeling pretty good today. Thanks to my rights, you know? So what kind of rights do we possess? Fundamental rights. We have the freedom of conscience and religion. We have the freedom of thought, belief, opinion, expression, freedom of press. We have the freedom of peaceful assembly. We have freedom, in a sense. Democratic rights. Every Canadian citizen now has the right to vote. If you're over 21. Slip them some cash on the table, but that hardly ever works. Mobility rights. Rights to enter, remain in, and leave Canada. Rights to move, to take up any residence in any province of our choosing. Legal rights. Everyone has the right to live, liberty, and security. We have the right to be secure against unreasonable search or seizure. and the right to not be arbitrarily detained or imprisoned. Equality rights. Rights of equal protection and be treated fairly. And that's only a sample of what's to come. As it states in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, disregard and contempt for human rights has resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind. Ever hear of the Holocaust? That's right, sit back down, Hitler. In Canada, we have freedom of speech. Do you think that in most other countries I could publicly bash our country's leaders? No, but in Canada I can. I mean, Prime Minister, what more like past this Prime Minister. Canada generally respects the human rights of its citizens. The prison conditions meet international standards. There's only restriction we have on freedom of speech is if it promotes discrimination or equality of the sexes. Therefore, I can't say that I'm the superior sex, which I believe Nick Patterson is superior sex. So now you know a little bit more about your Canadian rights as a Canadian citizen. You've been informed by yours truly, so the next time police tries to detain you against a reasonable cause, you can say, wait, Nick Patterson told me that goes against my human rights. What is a hero? Who is your hero? In Canada, and more openly the world, what laws would be the protagonist if the world was a television show? And don't say me, because I'm not a law, yet. Human rights. Without human rights, where would we be? There are many third world countries where citizens' human rights are not met. Slavery, child labor, not a safe environment, Walmarts on every street. We in Canada are lucky that our laws are based around human rights. Human rights would play the part of Jerry in Seinfeld, and dictators such as Stalin would play the part of Newman, and I would be Elaine, and Ryan Seacrest would be Kramer, and Tom Arnold would be George, and it would contain a host of others. In 1979, the Magna Carta was officially made part of the law. 1960, Canadian Bill of Rights was enacted by Parliament, and on April 17, 1982, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms was called into action. In closing, when walking down the street or running at a very fast speed, notice that no one kills you for your shoes or what's in your pockets, or pays you unfairly just because you're a woman. You have laws to thank. And you have human rights to thank. Thank them. Because, as I always say all the time to all my friends, we are the generation we have been waiting for. We are the generation where we have an abundance of human rights, so walk down your street safely. If you want to sing, sing, but do it with passion. Do it so you're heard. The clock's ticking and the pot roast has been taken out of the oven. Go outside your comfort zone. Achieve the unachievable. Everything is within your grasp, so grasp it. Don't let your fears overcome you. Overcome your fears. If you feel like being the best that you can be, shoot for the stars. Practice. Determination is not just a word, it's a way of life. If your friends are trying to hold you back, destroy them. In a sense, which will not violate their rights. If they are beneath you socially, leave them and continue upwards. Life is all about making connections and being physically fit and happiness. If lifting weights makes you happy, lift them. Put on an extra weight for me. Do what you feel must be done and accomplish what has been set out to do. Be a winner. Eat the last hot dog. Win the competition. If that means making little girls cry, then hand them a tissue. But express dexterity while doing it, and play as if it's your last day on Earth. Nick Patterson out.
Nick Patterson.